Hey there, it's Pixel Headed. Today it's Saturday, 25th of January 2025. Finally back sitting in my laundry room again. After quite a hectic week, I unfortunately need to focus more on my other job this week, and I just had a chance to go back yesterday fully on working on my 3D printing stuff again. My focus this week was to finalize and upload the build instruction for the Earthriser board game. I'm so happy that I finally published this. There are so many iterations of this box, and this is the one that I'm happy to put out there. And yeah, I just realized, because I need to count what materials do I need and what materials you guys need to also build this, and the amount of magnet that is used in this one small box is 120 minimum. Yeah, that's because basically each grid has one small neodymium magnet. So if this is 36, two boards makes it to 72, and then all the marker pieces, each of them has also a neodymium magnet, and then also the game pieces. Yeah, unfortunately until now I still couldn't somehow reduce the amount of neodymium magnet needed. I even bought this on Amazon. It's magnet sheet. It's something like this. My idea is basically, instead of having at least the board like small holes for each grid, I was thinking to just like cut a huge square hole and then cut the exact size of the magnet sheet that I can put right at the back. But unfortunately this magnet sheet is not strong enough for the neodymium. And yeah, we also need to keep in mind that this will be pasted below the 3D printed parts, so it will for sure weaken the effect, the magnet effect more. So yeah, unfortunately I cannot fix that. If you guys have some ideas on how we can solve this problem, kindly let me know. The other way, it's so heavy but I don't know where to put it. I'm gonna put it here for now. Excuse me. The other way that I can think of, but haven't really had chance to try it, is using small nuts to replace the neodymium magnet. So maybe just have the neodymium magnet in some parts, and then just have is it a bolt or a nuts? I think it's a nuts, right? The ring part. But turns out not all nuts are magnetized, or it can stick to magnet. So that's something I haven't also really researched about. So if you can find a nut small enough, 4mm in diameter to be exact, then maybe that's something worth to try, and maybe you can replace some of it with just like a simple nut instead of putting like all neodymium magnet. But again, the magnet is really necessary because I'm thinking to make this into something small that you can carry around and play on the go. Hence why I also built this dice instead of like having a normal dice that you can throw. And yeah, with magnet you can always keep them no matter what happens. Let alone the neodymium magnet is super strong, so yeah, it's reliable. Also, nice feedback I got is something that I'm gonna try is putting a spring inside. So instead of you need to shake it with your finger like so, maybe you can just like push it once and then it will go back and hopefully rotate the dice enough. That's something I can do. Yeah. I also start to receive so many feedbacks from my Earthriser video. I'm really happy to read all of them, and I also realized I think I didn't really explain all the basic elements of Earthriser, or I think I skipped one. One that I remember is I didn't explain that you need to roll dice to move your Earthriser, your meeple. So basically you need to roll the dice, and that result of the roll will determine how many tiles up to how many tiles you can traverse. I also don't explain all the things you can do during your turn, like all actions you can do. Yeah, so I think I need to do another updated video of a gameplay. Maybe I'll do this after the instruction video that we'll release next Monday. But yeah, this is the first game that I made that is not solo game, by the way. Well, I made Cardtapult, so no, not the first, sorry, wrong statement. Anyway, but this is something that I can play test with my brother who lives in Indonesia, because this is the only thing that you can play test online. So you just need to build one board here, and my brother needs to build one board there, and then yeah, we just like jump into a video call and play. And then we realize if we want to make it fair, how can we make sure that everyone can see our dice roll? So we moved to Discord. At the beginning we use Google. There is a dice function on Google. Now there's everything on Google, right? Anyway, so I share screen my Google with the dice. So instead of rolling this, we click the dice roll on the screen, and then we move to Discord where I downloaded this dice bot where you can just type D4 something. So we make sure to have everything recorded as the battle log or the captain's log, which is also pretty cool and kind of fits to the theme. That's also why at the end of this last video I said, hey, maybe if you all guys want to try this together with me, maybe after a couple of plays we can come up with new weapon modules or other modules. That's why I want to invite you guys to play online and help play test with me. Anyway, enough about Earthriser. There will be more videos coming. There will be more modules, ship modules and weapon modules coming. One last thing, really cool feedback comments I got. It's about this laser weapon module where you can shoot up to 3 coordinates at once, but all 3 coordinates needs to be within the same column. What's so crazy about it is I had the exact same thought, and I was so happy when I read that, and at the same time I was loving a bit, because I really want to have this weapon module so much in the game, but when we play tested, we just never nail the right mechanics. Like for instance, instead to somehow balance this strong weapon, I'm thinking maybe this weapon have a limited range, so this weapon can only shoot anything within the same column or 1 column on the left and right. But that concept is so hard to explain, how you're gonna write it or label it on the item list. And then we were thinking of something, I think this is something mentioned, like a delay, like how to delay. So basically you declare attack now, but you will but the coordinate will start getting hit the next turn, something like that. But at the end, because I just want to have this published and never really feel that that this is not that this one mechanic is not ironed out enough, I chicken out and I decided to use that weapon, it's actually written for those of you who already downloaded. To use the laser weapon module, you just roll a d6 plus your martial mastery and -2. I was like, oh, that's so stupid. And as soon as I read that comment, I was like, I'm gonna change it back, because at least I'm not the only one who thinks that that's something that would be really cool. I'm also so happy that this person, I'm sorry, I need to remember the name. This person decided to keep it simple, just like a laser that can shoot 3 coordinates within the same column, and that way it's gonna be harder. Well, it's strong because you can destroy 3 coordinates or guess 3 coordinates at once. On the other hand, your enemy knows right away that that weapon, at least excuse me, also actually stands within the same column on my board. And yeah, if you think about it, you don't need to think about delay or anything, or like extra range to just like somehow help to keep the position vague, because it's still a 1 out of 6 chance for the enemy to guess where my cannon is at within that column, because it's a 6x6 grid, right? It's still 1 in a 6 chance, and depending on how you build the layout of your ship, you can just put like that one cannon protruding, so to make sure there is nothing else within that column or something like that. There's so many strategy that can be developed out of one simple thing, and for some reason I thought at the beginning, before I read this comment, that yeah, that's too simple and it's gonna be too easy to figure out, but yeah, and this is the main reason why I keep posting these videos on YouTube. And yeah, that's also why I always say like I want to hear what your guys thought, because that definitely helps me iron out some of the details of the game. Oh, that was longer than expected, but it was pretty cool. And apologies for not remembering the handle name, because yeah, there are so many cool feedbacks about the spring and stuff. Anyway, I'm starting to lose my train of thought. Move on to the next topic. Next topic is the starting of 2025. I decided to start revisiting some of my old games, and still doing some of the backlog that I promised to do for a while now. And one thing that I also promised to do for a while is actually to release a new Cardtapult deck. For those of you who don't know what Cardtapult is this trading card game that looks like this, and instead of having a normal card, this card can turn into a catapult, hence the name Cardtapult, and instead of just like deducting point and HP and take turns to just like add HP, attack, deducting, adding mana, I want to turn it into something a bit more like a dexterity game, where you can actually put projectiles and shoot with your card like so. And yeah, you only deduct your opponent's HP if you manage to hit your enemy with the catapult. Anyway, so I finally decided to come up with the new deck. This has been circling around for quite some time, but because there are new mechanics in this deck that I want to try, it takes longer for me to test it out, and that mechanic is an ability. So now there are some abilities symbol that you can always refer to. I think I posted this as a Patreon exclusive model a while ago. Now there are like 4 or 5. Some of them were also suggested by my patrons. So yeah, that's why it takes me some time to play test it to make sure that everything works still smoothly. And finally, I was about to publish it, but then this is a bad habit of mine. Whenever I open that file again, or whenever I touch that thing again, my mind start like already wandering around and thinking like, this thing can be improved still, this thing can change. So instead of just like doing the photography, take a product shot and then like upload it, I went back to Tinkercad and start messing around with the file again. Easiest thing that I improve now is I chamfer the box to prevent warping. That's something that is still occurring a lot with 3D printer, and just by chamfering the edge, it should help. And then because I checked the box and I decided, last time I realized that the box doesn't have enough wall thickness to ensure that the roller is like set deep enough so that it's stable. So I decided to change the measurement as well. Now one side is thicker than the other to make sure that the axle of the dice, the roller, is now stronger and more stable. That way now I also increase the size and the thickness of the roller to ensure that now this thing can spin really freely and smoothly without even a ball bearing. Yeah, so that's what happened. Now I need to wait a bit, but I'm sure now when I posted this, all updates are already taken into account as well. Quite happy with how this turns out. The size increased a bit for 4 so the width now is 4 millimeters more, but I'm happy with that, because now the dice is the roller is much more smoother, can roll for longer, and hopefully it's more random. And it doesn't stop there. Basically, what makes this thing what makes this thing collapsible is the fact that I printed the hinge part really thinly. So I think it's 0.6 millimeter. So that's why it can opens like that. But if you notice here, it's starting to turn, the color starting to turn into white, and that's a clear sign of wear and tear. At some point, depending on the quality of your PLA, it will break soon. At the beginning I decided, I will just like move on with that, because I need to keep it thin so that it can still get inside the box, and that's the simplest way to do that. But then, I want to make this a bit more, it's not stable. The correct word for that is reliable. So it doesn't matter where you print it. Or it doesn't matter with what kind of PLA you use. I want it to at least, I want this card to last longer. And then also, if you having this hinge, also have a bit of problem. Having this type of hinge will also make putting the card back inside the box quite hard, because if you already open it once, it won't to stay at that position. I'm sorry guys, I couldn't find the correct word for that. Basically, it's just harder to slide the card back in after you use it. So I went back to Tinkercad again, and when I see the file, and also now I have new technique that I can use. So I decided to turn everything into a print in place hinge. It's small, it's print in place, so it's not it doesn't come in multiple parts, it's just still 2 parts like the previous version. It's just the card itself and the ornament at the front. But now it has a print-in-place hinge, so it can just open and close, and you know, this card will last longer. Same goes with the leg at the back. It has a print-in-place hinge as well. So now it can open. I tested out, it still works. Let's use this as a base. It's still a card's able still to stand, and I can still shoot it just like the previous one. Oh, I jinxed it. How can I show it? It still requires a stable ground though to play. So let's use this filament box. Hopefully I managed to do it, because you know, you need to lay the card flat and anyway. So that's the update for this old game that I created. I'm quite happy with the update. This with an assumption that every printer can print this type of thing, print in place, without hiccups, because and I'm quite sure about it, because if you go to Cult's 3D tanks, or the most downloaded toys are these flexi toys, right? And these flexi toys, sole mechanics, they are all built on a print-in-place hinge. So if it's the most downloaded toys, I think that I can assume that most 3D printers today are able to do a print-in-place hinge like so. So yeah, that's what happened. So guys, if this log entry turns into rambling, but yeah, I just want to give this update that I've done yesterday. Pretty happy with the result though. And I guess this will be also not exactly this card, but I'm currently building another card with this hinge, print-in-place hinge function, and I will put it out there as January's exclusive model on my Patreon, because I think I already put all of this out there. So yeah, I just want to create a new one for you guys, while at the same time we can test this. We can test this print-in-place hinge together. Yeah. Oof. That was a long update, guys. I'm sorry. Oh, for those of you who ask, what about the card size word game? I'm still testing it out. I think I overthink this too much. There is nothing much updated board wise. I think I just added this action points trackers. I don't know if this thing already exists in my last video or my last update, but this is the update so far. Still need to play this until I find something that I'm quite happy about, at least good enough, simple enough, so that I can put out there, people can play, and hopefully by posting the updates, you know, you guys can help me give your thoughts and feedback of what I can improve. But unfortunately not good enough and not solid enough for me to put. But soon, guys, soon I will put this out there. The reason why it takes me some times, if I don't have friends coming over, the only way I can do this is just by becoming two players, like becoming a 2-person, and then just like play against myself. So yeah, it's a bit hard. Anyway, that's the update for today. Sorry it's a long videos, and let me know what you guys think about any of those stuff. If you guys have some ideas, also let me know. Anyway, I'll see you in the next log entry. Bye bye.